Hello everyone, JRDL96 here with a brand new reaction. As you can tell by the title, it's another Markiplier video and it's another animation related to Distractible. Now, it's been a while since we've seen Markiplier videos, and obviously we still have to check, finish up with In Space with Markiplier. Hopefully at some point I will get a chance to, but right now I want to try to slowly get back into the groove of doing videos here and making sure, I can get back into the groove. So right here is one of the stories that I was kind of hoping that someone one day would do an animation on, based on one of the stories that Mark told on the Distractible podcast, involving the one time he decided to go try out a parkour club in college, and the day that he broke his ass, as he calls it. The day I broke my ass. That story. And I found that story so funny. I was hoping someone would make an animation of it just to see how they would do it, So I don't know who necessarily has made this animation, but it may be similar to the people who made the animation of that Go My Favorite Sports Team animation with how explaining the football rules, the way getting the pregnancy test. I don't know, but it looks like a similar art style to me, but who knows. So let's just get right into this story and see how they make this story into an animation. So without further ado, let's react to this video, shall we?
So it's freshman year. I wanted to do like an activity. What I tried to do was parkour, and it was like supposed to be a quote-unquote beginner parkour thing. I showed up at the place and we met in the parking garage, and it was me and 3 other dudes, and one of them had done parkour maybe, and the other 3 of us were just like complete newbies getting in there and just trying to have
over here.
We were jumping around the 4th level of the parking garage, and so we were leaping around there, we were jumping around, we would go like over the edge with like 50 feet below us, and we would just like dance around there for a little bit, and so we actually ended up like dropping down 2 floors anyway but the stairs or the ramp inside, so like crawling around the building outside. And I don't die at this point.
Yay.
But we get down to the 2nd level, and it's time to drop from the 2nd story and do a sweet tuck and roll into this little grass patch. So the first guy goes, and he goes like drop and tuck and roll, and it's perfect, and he's fine. And then the second guy goes, and he manages to do it, a tuck and roll. And it's at this point
Your
that
turn.
I realized they assumed I knew how to do a tuck and roll, which I had never
Oh my
done
god,
in my life.
that's Uncanny Valley right there.
Right.
That
hanging
close up
by one hand.
Kind of reminds me of the
2nd
SpongeBob
story ledge
episodes.
of a concrete parking garage, looking at a tiny patch of grass that I'm supposed to hit, and in my head I'm like, it can't be that hard.
No,
So
sure. Famous last words.
You can do it. And I'm like, I got this. I got this. And so I drop, and I landed from the 2nd story straight on the face, like 100% full on.
I'm pretty sure that caused
into
an
my ass.
earthquake.
I felt something pop. Weirdly, no pain.
It's probably
like this
adrenaline.
stun thing where you're like on the ground, like, am I dead?
Am I dead?
Am I dead? And like, weirdly enough, I seemed totally fine. I wasn't, by the way. I want to mention, I was not okay. And then the guy behind me.
Oh, this
is
poor
about
guy.
me, and he drops, and instead of falling on his ass, he fell on his face.
Oh no.
Like his legs hit, he went forward, he did not roll. Right into his face and chest hit the ground. Jesus. And you just hear him go like, oh god. Like just all the wind dropped out of him, and he's desperately like on the ground trying to get a sucking breath. So, after a while, we're just standing there. We're looking at this guy dying on the ground. And we're like, oh, what do we do?
What do we do? What do we do?
But he gets up, like he gets up and he plays it off like,
oh,
fine.
okay.
Clearly his ribs are broken, like straight up, his ribs are broken. God. And so he gets up. He's like,
I gotta go home, guys.
I think I'm good for today, guys. I think I'm gonna go down. So it's like he stumbles off, and we're watching him.
You're watching him as he just slowly walks down that, long path.
About the time he disappears out of view behind, those hills, like we look at each other, we're like, all right,
okay,
let's keep going, guys.
Yeah, not
this
nothing
building,
to
we get to the
realize.
roof.
Nothing
We
out of the
hear
ordinary.
sirens when we're up on
Oh.
the roof. For some reason, in our brain, we're like,
Oh,
they're
they're
coming
coming.
for us.
They know about that poor guy.
We went into the forbidden zone, and like
The forbidden door.
So we all panic, right? So we panic and we run off, and then again they drop down from this second story
God.
ledge onto this grassy part.
They do
So
the drop
I
and
find
roll.
myself
Roll.
once again hanging by one hand from a second story ledge, looking down. But in my mind at this moment, I'm like, okay, I went backwards that last time. I'll go forwards this time.
Go forward.
I know what my mistake was. And so
He does it.
and I'm like, forward, forward, forward. I saw them roll on like their shoulder, and so my legs hit the ground. I go forward, and I put 100% of my weight right
on
my
his shoulder.
and
he did not
don't
move.
And it's just like I hit the ground, my shoulder just
Boosh!
Thank God you did it the right way that time.
Yeah, thank God you rolled forward.
I like.
Thank
am
God
down there for
you
a
broke
while.
your ass and your
For a
shoulder.
while. And I'm like, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. And I look up, and they're gone.
They're just like, oh, fuck it. Let's get out of here. Oh, he broke his... He's pretty much dead. Let's go.
My body, and then bail.
I think the only way that could be better at all is if you look up and there's like two cops just standing there. Just like,
We know what you did, buddy.
That's the forbidden
That's the
room.
forbidden
I
garage.
lost their parkour teaching license after this.
I'm pretty sure they didn't even have one to begin with. Oh my god. Oh god, that was great. That was so good. That animation was great. I love that. But what I loved about it too was those weird, up close shots of, Mark. The more detailed looks of him that looks like something out of the Uncanny Valley. It kind of reminds me of a lot of the, weird, little close-up shots in the SpongeBob episodes, that they do sometimes. That's what it kind of reminded me of. But obviously this story is so funny because obviously when he first tried to drop, he fell on his ass and pretty much he felt something broken. But obviously he said that he didn't feel any pain or anything. It must have been the adrenaline, probably. Yeah, once that adrenaline's there, you don't feel shit. You don't feel pain. Adrenaline is a magical, substance. A magical thing. Kind of reminds me of that one guy who got hit by a car and he claimed he said, I'm perfectly fine, when in reality he wasn't, but it was the adrenaline that really, kept him painless. But it was the second that he went home into his hotel room, I guess, that's when the pain really hit him and he had to go back to the hospital. It turns out he had a ruptured spleen and shit, so I have no idea. I don't know, but, that's kind of what it reminded me of. But then, when he tried to do it the second time, and they were in that poor guy before, that dropped after Mark. Oh, God, that poor kid. Like, they even made a joke, like, I think it was Wade that asked Mark, did you see that kid afterwards at any point in time? And Mark goes, oh, God, no. Yeah. And then Bob goes, oh, he fucking died that night. Oh, jeez. But, but another thing that a lot of people, I guess the animator forgot to mention, was that the fact that Mark had this weird parkour costume on that was something out of Mirror's Edge. He had this weird, the fingerless gloves. He had the whole getup and everything. So I don't know what the fuck, why he would, made to make it look like he was fitting in. But first of all, who the fuck... Like, first of all, I'm surprised that they even approved a club like this. Because clearly that this would obviously be very, detrimental to your well-being and the sake of, anything that, God forbid, that happens, that you get seriously hurt and injured. Like that poor kid who probably clearly had broken ribs from falling flat on his face. And probably some broken teeth and shit. I don't know, but I have no idea, but I just found that pretty funny, you know? But I think overall that was really funny. The animation was great, of course. But yeah, there was a few things that, you know, was left out. I think was the comment about those, you know, the kid afterward that Wade asked, like, did you ever see that kid again? And the missing detail about the fact that Mark had this weird parkour looking outfit, cosplay outfit going on. So I'm surprised he didn't have that story. They didn't include that. I guess maybe Mark made a note to them saying, I do not want anyone to talk about this. Because he said something afterward where Bob, because it was Bob who mentioned it. And then Mark was like, I wish that you didn't say that. It was something along those lines where he's like, man, I wish you just didn't say that and just kind of kept this fine, and, you know, no one would have not known about this, but you just had to say it. Or something along those lines. But, you know, for some reason he didn't include that. I just find that odd. I found that pretty odd, you know. Obviously, you know, that's really on this reaction from Mr. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. There are another animation done. There was another animation done that was related to Go, My Favorite Sports Team. 2 boys, 1 ball, which is obviously a knockoff the obvious infamous video, The 2 Girls, 1 Cup, which Mark unfortunately saw during Unazanas. Which his reaction to the video is probably gold. It's like, that could be anybody in a nutshell. So, I have no idea. We could check that out. And I think the guy who made the Bob's Fridge animation, that stop motion claymation, animation of the Bob's Fridge, he put out another part 4 to the he put out another part to it for some reason. Parkour Mark! He just did another video! He did it! He just did that! Sir Walter Underbridge, he just did the Parkour Mark story. I gotta see that one too. I'll do that one next. Where is the other one? There's the he did another one with the robot vacuum. Oh my gosh. We got plenty of animations to still check out from Mr. Markiplier. What the fuck? Why does Wade have hair there in that animation? In that animation he has hair, but then the other one with the Bob's Fridge, he's bald. What the fuck? Like, what is up with that? Huh? Wait, what? Oh my god. Part 4. For some reason, there's another part to this. Part 4. I thought it was all said and done, but for some reason, he put out another one, so we'll check that out too. Is it the follow-up with the fridge wire that was in the middle of the street, which was kind of like in the beginning of the next episode that they did? Like, they did a little, like, a follow-up story right after in the beginning of the next episode. Is it that one where they're talking about, the fact that there was, like, the wire that is in the middle of the street because there was no cold water running through the fridge? I don't know, but we'll check that out. And also, there's another Bob's Fridge animation that was done and posted by Mark on Mark's channel. I don't know what. It's only 4 minutes, so I wonder how that's gonna work. So we'll check that out next. We'll check out the Bob's Fridge one first, and then we'll check out the Bob's Fridge animation, and we'll check out the parkour one he just put out today at the time of me filming this. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of the notification squad. Be sure to check out my Instagram because I make bullets and Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, even myself. I also act as the cosplays on there, so go check it out. And be sure to check out my Tumblr and my Discord in the description as well. So until next time, JRDL96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.